Hello and welcome back to the grind. Well, a little bit different this week. This thing here showed up. I went up to O'Leary, close to O'Leary, and picked this up, which is up the west end of Prince Edward Island. It's like a little car hauler thing, and when I picked it up, it seemed to be okay. When I got it home, it was a little bit less than okay, but not bad. I was a bit disappointed for a while, but then I got it back together. So I had to replace a whole bunch of the metalwork. This tubing along here, I had to replace the tubing underneath the ramps. I had to replace. It needs a new bearing on that side, which I've ordered. It's not arrived yet. And I had to put, I put new fenders on it and new lights and wired it up. So it might be all right. The tires are like brand new, so that was a bit of a bonus. Now I want to use it just for like whenever I take a car in to get it inspected, motor vehicle inspection. You have to go into the motor vehicle branch and get a permit to drive it for that day, and then hopefully it doesn't break down on the way there, because that could be a problem. And then you have to go back in once more to register it after you get the car inspected. So make it easy and just drag the car over to the inspection spot, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll see. Anyhow, this has to be inspected too, and it has to be plated, but I'll get to that one of these days. Anyway, that's not too long a one, so I hope you enjoy it, and something different. I haven't tested the lights yet, but I'll do that, and I'll put that in the clip before this one. Okay. Now I'm going to see if I can make room for it in here, and then I'm going to take my little Dolly over here and see if I can get it fixed up and ready to go, because it needs some, welding with vice grips and some fine body work there. So I'll do a little bit of work on this to see if I can make it all kind of look good anyhow. So anyhow, that'll be coming up. Done with that for now until I get it inspected. And Sarah was driving around on it, so she seemed to think it was all right. Yeah, so the lights are more decoration than anything else. I don't think they were ever wired. Here we are, and it's up on the lift, just high enough to be able to work on nicely. Mostly it's in pretty good shape. These things here, that just holds on to the tire strap there. All homemade, all made pretty well. Have to look into. Oh yeah, it's just got a whatever it was on hand was there, right? Maybe they had a couple of these things on it before, but then likely they broke off or fell off or something. Anyway, I'll take Gus's thing off here, and we'll see about getting it back together so that it's in decent shape. It needs some tender loving care. But first things first, now this wheel over here spins nice, no shake in it at all. That's a nice, the bearings, everything's good in there. This side over here, like I thought it was, you can hear that. A little bit of shake in the bearing. Might just need to be tightened up properly, and we'll just have a look at it. And then I'll take the needle scaler to this stuff here and see about getting some of those layers of paint off of there. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Yeah, so that hub there needs to be replaced. Now these aren't trailer hubs, they're hubs off of a 1985 Chevrolet Citation, I think. That's what I've ordered. Hopefully it'll fit all right. We'll just see when it comes. Anyway, see what happens. Yeah, there's quite a bit of rust repair on this thing. So I guess I'll just start disassembling it and see what I can come up with. Now I think those axles are out of a Citation. This one here, I just ordered one. This one here is not done yet, but it's close to done. So if the Citation one actually fits, I'll order another one and we'll get it back together the way it should be, right? Or the way it was designed originally. Not a bad design, the thing, but I think it's been like since 1985 sitting out in the rain. So, or out in the salt and all that kind of stuff. The structure here is good. The structure here is gone. Oh well. Yeah, bit more than I wanted to chew on here, but oh well. So I've got that cleaned off pretty well. This piece here is okay. I'll just leave it on there and join on as it goes. I think that another, oh yeah, it's just the frame goes out here, but I'm going to put another piece of frame across here where a wheel sits, eh? Anyway, but that'll be down the way a bit. We'll just see where that, it has to be farther over than this so that it can get the, won't interfere with the axle business. Then I got to use a couple of U-bolts here just to go up around that, I think. We'll figure that out as I go along too. Yeah, so now this thing here turned out to be a bit more work than I had planned on for a little trailer for towing cars around. So now, of course, I put this piece of metal on backwards to start with, so you can see the cut mark there. Good thing I only just tacked it. And then that's where the axle will lay into it, and then I'll weld a piece over the top of that, because it doesn't, like it just tips on that so that you can get a car to go on it, or whatever you want. So now, I'll just carry on welding and putting stuff in here and see if I can get that all to come back together. This part, this here goes right over to here, and this part here will join up with that pipe there, which is, the pipe is okay. I just cut it off so I could see what was coming along, and then I'll fix this later. Okay, on it. Yeah, there, that's what a mess, eh? That's all welded back on. There's some nice welds there. There's some ugly welds here. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. Then I have to put a little tab across the bottom of this to keep it from jumping off, but that's all for that. Then I pushed this piece of metal back down into place and welded it. Got this on here back together, and then I put a tab across it to give, I butt welded it first, and then put a tab across, and what do they call that? We call that lap welding. This one here I welded into where it was before. So that side is okay, and the trailer, like it'll tilt okay the way it's supposed to. So now I got to have to take this side all apart and do the whole thing over here. Yeah, there we go. That's all sort of put together again. I've got to do some repair work on the ramps, but they're mostly like right up here, it's rusted through. But now everything is on there, and I think it'll work. I still have to go underneath and do the underneath welding. That's a little bit to do there now. Ooh, new lips. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, there. That's enough for today. Now I've got some new axles coming. These were slightly worse for the wear, but I'll put these back on tomorrow, and I'll line up the fenders so that I've got new fenders, so that they'll fit on there, and then I'll figure out the lights and stuff like that tomorrow. But all the welding on the frame part is done. This part of the frame I reused. This part of the frame up here is all new. and did these angular things. But I'll hop in here. I'll show you how it works. And it's balanced quite nicely because it just goes up and down the way it's supposed to. And you pull out this pin here, right? Whoop. If you can, just sit on here and make it easier. There, pin's out, right? And where am I? I'll get back here where you can see. So they just, like that just goes, you know, that's a bit steep for loading the car, but it'll be about there for loading the car, or less, somewhere around there for loading the car. And then as the car drives up, it'll automatically put it back down. So that thing there is finger light. That's good. A bit tight to the end here, but that's okay too. Anyway, I gotta put the camera down so I can get it all hooked together again here. Yeah, good morning. Here I am. Good morning. Here I am at the back at the little trailer thing, right? So today, now the rack now I think is good. Take some paint on it and stuff like that, but otherwise it's all set to go. Now the wheels, I need to put fenders over. It had fenders, but they were somewhat in need of repair. But I do have a new set of fenders here, so I'll see what I can do about setting up something to make it so they're fairly solid. Yeah, so I went out and I found an old bed rail out there. Don't know where it came from, but it's out there, so I'll just cut it off here, then cut 10 inches in an overlap of 2 inches to go underneath the trailer, underneath the bed, and then that should make it so that it's got something good for this to hang on to, this here to hang on to start. Yeah, there's one fender on. Now I just built a little bit of an angle iron thing around here and around here, and it's only just tacked on, it's not solidary yet. But now, so from here to the center is 15 inches, from here to the center is 15 to there, so it's pretty well centered on the wheel, and that'll be just fine. And fairly straight on the wheel, like the front should go over just a bit, eh? I'll see about doing that. I think I can move the front over a 1/4 inch there. We'll just see. Yeah, so that's welded on there now. Now underneath here, that's all hot, so welded up all around the edges. It's solid, damn solid. And up here in the front, I made a little bracket to come out to meet the front of it here. That's still hot. I've welded it on the inside and on the outside. I'll clean that up, and I'll clean those edges up a bit. But this here, I'll just cut that off there and round those corners out, and that will look all right. And then the same on here, I'll cut off that extra bit there, kind of at an angle, so it looks decent. Anyhow, one side done. Yeah, there's. So I just took the heads off those welds, and everything here looks pretty good. It's damn solid. Now I may put a brace just down from here to here, just to make it finish off. I'll use a bit of that square for that, but I'll get the other side done first. And now I just took the tops off these welds here too, and kind of an ugly weld job, but oh well. Oh, weld. That looks like it's going to be okay though. So now from a distance, how does it look? It's like I'm just going to leave the insides open because that way they'll drain water, and I'll drill some holes in the bottoms of these pipes here so that they'll drain water. That's what was happening. It was filling up with water and not draining out. Yeah, so there's side number 2 tacked on, pretty solid. So I just basically followed the same design as over there, and it all just fell together just nicely. So it's 15 inches from center to top, center to back, center to 15 inches everywhere. So that's about where the right spot should be. This wheel here has got a bit of a shake to it because the bearing's going out, but hopefully a new bearing coming for that soon. And they look like they're lined up all right. Not quite. Like that could be kicked over just a bit that way, right? Maybe I'll just do that because I've only got 2 tacks in it so far. I could cut them and kick it over just a bit. That wouldn't hurt, would it? Yeah, it should be kicked over that way a little bit. Okay, well I'll do that. Yeah, so I've gone over the fenders with the palm sander and 120 grit on it, just to, you know, give them a bit of finish for paint to stick to. Then I'll hit them with some Rust-Oleum, or whatever it's called here. And then I also did, like, I got the needle scaler out and got all the dirt and grime out of this thing here, and then hit it with the rust converter. Same with this wheel over here. This one here was pretty crusty, but I got it all with the whatever you call that thing, the needle scaler. Peels off everything that's bad. Then I hit it with rust converter and I'll paint it up. See if it'll make it another few days, right? Yeah, that's brand new fenders on there. Now I let this stuff dry. It's flat black, so I've got my face cover on, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Flat black, so it should put out something like that. We'll see when it dries. Side number 2, see how it comes out. And then, so I'll let them dry, then I'll install the tail lights in, put the electric in. I'm going to build a little, like I just want to build a bridge across here to tie that together across the top. So I'll figure that out right now. Yeah, that's wheels are on and fenders are on. Rebuilt this, and I just put this on here to keep it so that, like, that side broke off last time from shaking around, so that'll never break off again. It's not a very pretty thing, but it's, I think, effective. And then this side here, the wheels are on. This side here is shaky, the bearing needs replacing. But it all turned out pretty nice. Now tomorrow there's some repair to do on the ramps. Just a couple of, like, places where it's rusted through. I'll put a bit of metal behind or underneath or over it. Little patches on it. 16, I've got some 16 gauge that'll work fine for that. Like right here, needs a patch on it. And I'll just lap weld that on there so that it all holds. This side here, I got that saw welded down again. And so mostly it's looking pretty good. Oh, excuse me. So there, that'll be a good little car hauler, and I've got a set of lights for it. Won't that look fancy on the back of it, eh? We'll just put them on tomorrow, and that should finish it up. I hope we'll see how it works out. Okay, see you later. Yeah, good morning, here I am. Anyhow, back out on the little trailer thing. Mostly it's all done now. This welded that on last night. And I'm going to just, there's a crack in it here. I'm just going to put a patch in there, from about here up to here. And then a couple other little spots, like right here, it might have a patch in it. A couple of spots where it's rusted through, where I just put a little patch in, and that'll be fine. Right there, there's another spot. Some of these things I'm not too worried about because they never ever get any strain on them. Anyway, that one there is important. Yeah, that's back to being solid there. And I just painted over that stuff that I welded right there. Now, I'll put on the, what do you call those things? Tail lights. Yeah, their lights are on, wired up. Now I'll go out and I'll hook it onto the car and just see if it actually lights it. Now here's the way the ground works here. It comes off of the doohickey for the car, right? That white one's the ground, goes to there. I've got it bolted in. Then that grounds the bottom frame, but this top frame isn't really, like, it's sort of free of the bottom frame. So I ran another ground wire right here, just from here to here, and then when the flame goes up and down, that'll move with it. We hope. We'll see what happens. I tried getting it to right there, but every time I put a bolt in, it break the bolt off. Anyway, that's the way it is some days. So I think we're done with it for now until I get the new axles, and then when I get the new axles, I'll just stick them on, and that'll be that. Yeah, there we go. Flashers work. Let's go and check the other stuff. You'll have to tell me if the brake lights work. I'll just put you down here. That looking the right way? Yeah, the sun's shining bright now. Oh well. We'll just see if the flash blinkers work. Left side works. Right side works. Brake lights. And parking lights. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like everything works. I'll check the footage for the brake lights, but I'm pretty sure they'll work because the signals work. Anyway, there you go. That's all put together, hooked on the back of the car. I'll park it over there somewhere. Yeah, I forgot to check one thing. I want to check this tilt deck thing. See what happens. So you just pull this pin, then pull up on this. Oh yeah, it tilts the deck so that you can drive up the ramp. And then when the car gets up here, it'll automatically just flatten it out back down to there. And you put the pin in. There you go, that works. Yeah, so the Volkswagen decided it was warm enough to start up today, but then decided that it wouldn't not charging for whatever reason. Oh well, I'll figure that out. I just let it warm up for a while and run for a while, and then I'll shut her down. I won't worry about the charging system right now. Yeah, okay, so it's April 1st, 2024. Hey, on the way. See if anybody's down here to fool me. I don't think so. Another quiet day. Me and my fool, Buster. Yeah, so it might be slowly warming up, hey? All that seaweed that was here is all gone. And there's a few ducks out there doing whatever ducks do. There you go. Happy April Fool's Day.